What is going on, guys? My name is Aaron, and today I'm going to explain to you guys how you can tell if a car has ever been into an accident or if a car has never been into an accident. Right now we're going to go over the two vehicles that I own. I own a Toyota Sienna and an Infiniti G35. Let's just get right into it. Number one, you're definitely going to want to ask, if you're going to buy a car, this is one thing you got to ask for sure. Ask for the Carfax. That's the first thing, the most important thing. You want to check the vehicle's history, and most places that are selling a used car, they will have a Carfax sheet available for you right on the spot. So the number one thing you want to check when you're looking at the Carfax, you want to make sure that's the right Carfax for your vehicle. So you definitely want to check the VIN number. Come on over here. Most VIN numbers are located right here, right in the lower corner of the dashboard. You can see my VIN number right there. Sometimes you can also see a VIN number right over here in the door on the sticker right here, VIN. And another spot would be under the hood on a badge, as you can see right here. So make sure all of those VIN numbers match up. So you want to make sure that all of those VIN numbers match up with the correct VIN number on the Carfax, because one time I went and bought a G35. It was my old car, the automatic. The VIN number on the Carfax did not match up with the VIN number on the car. So I was like, dude, this is not the right car. What's going on? The mileage is different. The Carfax says that the car's black, that the car's gray. What's going on here? And he's just like, no, man, it's the right Carfax, it's the right Carfax. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's run the right VIN, and then maybe I'll buy the car from you. So we finally ran the right VIN. Everything was still good. It showed that there was no accidents. So that's what brings me to number two. Even though the Carfax could show that there's no accidents, the car can still definitely be in an accident. This vehicle has a clean title, and it actually has been in an accident. So let me go ahead and show you a few things that I noticed right off the bat that shows me that this car has been in an accident. So you can see on this side right here, this is an aftermarket front bumper. Usually if the style of the bumper is different than the original style of the car, that's an immediate hint that the car was in an accident. Sometimes they'll just replace it with a stock bumper. So if you do have a stock bumper and it was replaced, here's how you can tell. If you come up really close, you can see that the paint right here is a little bit less defined. You can see it's starting to chip right here. You can see there's a bunch of cracks in the bumper here, and it doesn't necessarily line up with the fender correctly. Right over here is kind of a bad example because I have this dent, but come on over here. Over on this side, you can see just crazy paint cracking. It's obviously new paint. They didn't do a really good job at prepping it, so that's one thing. It could be, just bad paint. These lights don't really sit inside of the bumper that well, so there definitely need to be modifying to get that perfect. Now, when people buy a used car, they want to try and sell it immediately. So they don't want to spend so much time on trying to fix the car. So they'll just slap everything back into the bumper, paint it real quick, and then attach it to the car. Another thing is you can see sort of two different types of paint here. You can see one is a little bit, a lot newer. This is obviously, the original paint on the car, so it's about 10 years old, and this is only about a year old. So you can definitely see the more clear coat on this paint as compared to this paint right here. Now, if you come over here, this is a little dented, so it's kind of hard to show you guys with this side, but you can see the body lines right here. They don't necessarily match up. You see how there's a giant gap right here in between this headlight and this headlight, and you come on over here to this other side, the gap is much smaller, and if you come view from this side facing that way, you can see that the headlight is sticking out from the fender. Now, this fender has definitely been reworked. Somehow there was an accident on this side. You can also notice line here, it gets thicker as you come out here, and as you move on to the inside, it gets thinner and thinner, and it actually is touching right here, which is really bad when it comes to opening and closing it, because then your paint starts to chip in that area. Check out the body lines, make sure they are matched up on each side. That can be an obvious hint that the car was in an accident before. If you look at the door lines don't necessarily line up. You can kind of feel how it jumps to like another, this is just a giant gap in between. There's another hint. That's actually a huge hint. Sometimes body shops, they just try to slap it together. They don't want to make it perfect because they just want to sell the car, get the money, and move on to their next sale. So another way to tell if your car has been in an accident, if any fenders or other body parts of the car have been modified. So if you're trying to check for any fender damage, see if they've replaced the fender. You can check out these bolts right here. You can see that these bolts have definitely been used. So this fender was replaced before. Definitely see that they have tried to take out this bolt before right here, as well as over here. There's a little bit of scuffing, but not too much on that one. So that one's a little hard to tell, but definitely this one has been removed before. This one looks a little scuffed up. It looks like they definitely messed with both of the fenders on this car here. Also try and check out the body, the frame right here. You can see that if there's any bends or damage done to the strut tower, you're gonna see a lot of different bends in there, and they are shaped really weird, so it's kind of hard to tell when it comes to this. But try and take a good look on this side and match it up with what it looks like on that side. And that'll give you an idea if the strut tower is bent or whatnot. One of the best ways to tell if you have a bent frame or if you have any type of frame damage that's not shown on the Carfax, go ahead and get in the car. Give it a test drive. If it's making any weird creaks or noises, there might be something that's not necessarily bolted together correctly from factory. A good way to test this is if you have the used car, make sure that it has an alignment. Go ahead and take it for a test drive. If your steering wheel is not straight, even after the alignment, and you still have like a little bit of a turn in the steering wheel while you're driving straight, that will immediately let you know that you have a thrust angle. So part of your frame is bent, and there's no way that you can ever fix that back to normal. So frame is damaged, you're screwed. But if you're driving straight after the alignment, then you're straight. So I was talking to you guys before about the VIN number of the vehicle. Check out the VIN number right here, 5TDZA23 EXT. Let's keep going. One way to tell is if your car has changed out panels from another car is you can go ahead and open pretty much, oh yeah, even on the window. You can even see it right there on the window. On the inside of the frame right here, right there. 5TDZA, okay, let's keep on going. Oh, even right there. Check your doors, check all the different panels. You'll see the same VIN number on each of the panels. Right there, 5TDZA23. Rear quarter panel is perfect. This door, perfect. Now, unfortunately, in the G35, it only shows it in 3 different locations. So if you guys are looking to buy a G35 or maybe even other Nissans, I'm not sure if they're going to show the VIN number on each panel. But for example, on this Toyota, it does. So you can see it somewhere. 5TDZA23X. To check for any damages when it comes to something that might not be visible on the body. Like say if somebody ever hit a curb in the car and it screwed up the suspension, the control arms, the bushings, try and see if you have any blown out bushings or any bent control arms that might have been modified to be rebent back, or just completely brand new control arms. Most of the time control arms do not need to be replaced and only the bushings get blown out. So it is possible that, you know, maybe if you do see a brand new part in your car, a brand new suspension part, it's possible that they just had to replace it because the bushings got blown out. Either they have really bad roads where they lived, where the car was being driven, or there's just a bunch of miles on it, and sometimes you need to replace the bushings. So this really isn't the best way to determine it, but if you do see a brand new suspension or multiple brand new suspension on one side of the car, you know that that car was definitely damaged in an accident. So the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be flood damage. We've gotten a lot of hurricanes here in the US, so a lot of people might have gotten their cars flooded out and they've been trying to work on them to resell them. Here's one way to check for flood damage, because you don't want to buy a flood damaged car. Really big issues can come down the road with a flood damaged car. So let's go ahead and check out a few different things. This car doesn't have flood damage, but I'm going to show you guys how you can kind of check for it. First thing you want to do is just get in the car. Go ahead and get in the car. Give a big whiff. Try and smell any like type of weird mold or just water. You kind of know what water smells like. If you leave a towel out for like a day or two after it's been soaked in water, it has that moldy type of smell to it. So see if your car has that really bad smell. Sometimes it could just be the AC that's starting to get, you know, it's got a lot of humidity built up into it. So one thing you can do is turn on your AC maximum, take some Lysol and spray it through the front vents. The AC duct, this is where your AC gets pulled in. So make sure you spray some Lysol in there, give it a good spray for about 5 minutes or so, and that will pretty much disinfect and clean up your entire AC system. And if you are still having a crazy smell after that, the next suspicion would be the carpet. Try and feel out the carpet. If it feels like it feels like hard, or like you know, stuff has been dried up off of it, and even if it smells bad, that could be another sign of flood damage. The second thing is you might even have brand new carpet in an old car, which is like a crazy, like that is a big hint that your carpet was replaced because of flood damage. So if you see a brand new carpet in an old car, be suspicious. They could have just went overboard and said, hey, let's replace the carpet just because it's ugly. But most of the time, carpets are usually good. They can just be shampooed and they'll be fine. But if it's flood damage, you're definitely gonna see stains, maybe possibly rust. Rust is a huge thing when it comes to flood damage. So go ahead and pull out your panels here. You want to try and check underneath the carpet here. If you can, pull up the carpet. You can kind of take a look at the frame there. If you see any type of rust damage on the frame, that's an immediate symptom of having flood damage. Another place to check for rust would be your hood hinges. If those are rusty, chances are the car was in a flood. As well as underneath the car, you want to check all of the frame underneath. Get it up on jack stands. Just give a quick look under there. Try and feel it out. If all your suspension is rusty or your frame is rusty, that's a huge sign that there was flood damage in the car. Last thing you want to do to test the car for any flood damage, go ahead and get in there, test out all of the electronics. I got heated seats, I have memory seats, you know, everything in the radio, the lights, the high beams, the windshield wipers, all your windows, the automatic rolling function, if you have them, the electronic seats. Make sure all of the electronics work, because chances are some of that could have been shorted out if the car was flooded. That's about it, guys. Just try not to get fucked over by all these local dealerships that are trying to sell cars, flood damaged cars, cars that have been in an accident. It's really easy for them to buy them really cheap off of auction. So they buy them super cheap. They'll just put like a bumper or a fender or a door or something. They'll try and hide any frame damage. They'll try and hide any flood damage, and then they're gonna try and flip it and make some money off of it. Don't fall victim. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys have any other questions or anything that I should have added in this video, I'm sure I left out a bunch of things, but these are just really simple things if you're just going out and buying a car, or if you just want to check your car just to see if it's ever been in an accident. Go ahead and take a look at these few things. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. What is happening, guys? My name is Aaron, and today I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you guys all the little details that, fuck, hold on. Are you going somewhere? Fuck! Oh. Cause I'm trying to explain some shit. Are you coming back soon? Oh, okay. Alright, that's cool. I can film that part later. She's stealing the car from me. Now I can't make this video. By the way, people are mad that you're never in the videos. Because I put you in the thumbnail. Okay, you guys saw enough of her. Alright, let's go. Sweet.